What up, what up, what up? Thank you for tuning back in and listening. Pleasure. I'm your host, the one, the only Rob G.
I promise you one day it ain't gonna be all through a podcast. It's gonna be a conglomerate.
And also it brings it full circle. If you go into it and buy a property with a family member.
Welcome. Thank you for tuning back in and listening. Pleasure. I'm your host, the one and only Rob G. We're excited to have y'all back. We know we changed to Wednesday nights for the show, but this young man we got on the night reached out to us, and he wanted to come on tonight. He couldn't come on Wednesday from we had booked him. We had told him Tuesdays, and then this Wednesday he got booked up, so we couldn't do that. But like y'all know, we always say around this time, please click like, subscribe, share, get your people in. You know what time it is. Without further ado, and I hate to say, just running my mouth. Okay, I see y'all coming in the comments. Gotcha. So without further ado, y'all welcome to the stage, my main man, my co-host, Mouth Mikey, the one and only. Y'all welcome Mike to the stage. Welcome. What's going on?
What up? Wait a minute.
What's going on?
Whoa, hey, man.
Yes, I had it on the solo layout.
What up? How y'all doing, man? We back like you on the stove.
Much, man.
Recooking. What's up with you? Y'all already
Cooling,
know,
man. Just got leaving practice court down in the rain.
Yeah, it did just start storming. Y'all already know the vibes. Hit the button. Please hit the button. Tell your peoples to tell they peoples that we is outside. Look, check it. I be on social media a little bit, right? Y'all talk a lot about these people who be getting these offices. Here go another one that's right here for you to talk to and ask your questions and say all that stuff you say on the internet behind the keyboard. You can come ask it right now, bro. Like, you got to know how important local elections are. You got to know how important local elections are. We always talk about when the president. Man, the president don't, and this sounds bad, but he don't really affect your local area. Your local people do, though. Your local people do. So tell your people, come outside. Tell them stop talking on the internet. Come talk to people. Find out what the plan is so you know to put the right people in place if that's the case. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. You saying a mouthful, man. I ain't gonna talk you to death about that, man. The politics and the things. We got some things going on. It's like you said, man, the local area is definitely where you need to be tuned into. So without further ado, let me get ready to bring on the man of the hour. Y'all please bring to the stage Mr. Devon Hamilton. Y'all welcome to the stage.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. I have my own YouTube channel, so I know the ins and outs, and doing this kind of stuff can be kind of stressful sometimes, so I do appreciate it.
Thank you for giving us some of your time.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And I'm an open book, so anything you want to talk about, I'm down to talk about.
Yeah,
that's always a good thing. So before we dive into the basics, because everybody will know about the politics and that side. For those who don't know, you just meeting you and etc. Tell them about yourself. Who is Mr. Hamilton?
Well, I am Devon Hamilton. I am 28 years old. I have lived in Newport News for all 28 years of my life. Born at Riverside. Uh, Grew up in the Beaconsdale neighborhood. Went to Minchfield High School. Graduated in 2016. Did not do college. Went straight into the workforce, and I've worked blue collar pretty much my entire life. So that is the simple version of me. But lightly been involved in politics here and there over the years, but kind of left for a little bit. Now I'm back in. So that's me.
Midfield. Okay.
Yep,
All
Midfield
right, all right.
Monarchs.
Okay, another monarch. That's where I graduated from. Long time ago, but
Yeah, long
Okay.
time ago.
What year did you graduate?
yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah,
In the 90s.
it was a whole nother century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
So I think my first question
People to ask me
would-
about it.
would be, you grew up in Newport News, and now you're running for city council in Newport News, right?
Yep.
How did your upbringing shape your want to be into politics?
I think from an early age, service was kind of instituted into my life, serving others, loving others, caring for others. I've got great parents. I've got great grandparents. We were active in church. And I think just being in that church environment instilled a want to serve and love others. And so I think when you want to love and serve others, the best way you can do that is to try to do things and make policy decisions and advocate for things that will help other people. And so that's why I'm here doing this.
It's a simple
I
answer.
agree.
Yeah, that's a simple answer.
But I think a lot of wanting to serve others does come from the church, being involved in church. I would say that's the biggest way my upbringing shaped me, was just being involved in that environment.
So who would you say, like, growing up from Newport News, who was some of your biggest influences in your life growing up, and why?
Oh, that's hard. You talking about just Newport News people or just celebrities?
Just in general, whoever. That's why I put the why on there, because you may have somebody local because
Okay.
you've seen this. You may have celebrity for this aspiration or whatever. That's why I put the why on there. So
I think I'd have to start with my grandparents on both sides. They were both great to me, taught me a lot about life, taught me a lot about how to deal with other people. So I would say just in terms of trying to be a people person, I would say they were a great influence and inspiration. My dad has owned his own company twice. So I think I get a little bit of a drive from him, a little bit of work ethic from him. And I work my butt off to do the best I can do and be the best I can be. My mom's pretty compassionate and pretty helpful. So I think I'd like to say I get that from her. And then I think outside of my family, there's a lot of people I like. I like Michael Jordan. I just think he's intense and he wants to win at everything. And I love that. I'm super into sports. I also, I would say I love Richard Petty, the NASCAR driver. I think he's awesome. He likes to he treats his fans well, sits and signs stuff for a long time. And I think that's another thing where just like you see him treating people well, even though he's famous and has all the money, but he's still treating people well. So I'd say that's pretty influential for me. Politically, I like Reagan. I like Nixon. Those are probably my two biggest political influences. But
why Reagan and Nixon out of your favorite two? Why?
I think when you look at their election results, they were able to unify the country. Nixon won by a landslide for his second term, and Reagan won in his second term. Of course, Nixon had to resign because of Watergate, which wasn't the best thing. But I think for the most part, people were unified around him until that happened. And I think that's kind of a thing that people are longing for again in this country is the ability to be unified. I think we have such a big divide politically, and you don't really have to hate people because they disagree with you politically.
Oh, say that again, brother. Say that again.
I really have been bothered by that divide over the last, couple of years. I think it's really, really important we get back to a point where we can have civil conversations, respectful conversations, and disagree and still be friends. And even, I think you'll find once we start doing that, we'll have a lot more in common than people really realize. Because at the end of the day, what makes you laugh and cry is probably going to make me laugh and cry. That's just the human aspect of it. We got to get back to realizing we're all humans. So,
them people been friends since middle school, and because one of them a Democrat and one of them a Republican, them people got each other blocked on social media and don't talk to each other no more, and that's crazy to me.
It is crazy.
That's crazy to me. And that's two people we really know. And I want to say it on the podcast because I know one of them watch. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate.
That's why people. What?
And I hate that that's the culture we're in because it's the same thing with local politics. Like when you disagree with people, you tend not to try to talk to them or something like that. I really don't like that. That's why part of my campaign, I have really been working hard to reach out to people that are not maybe Republicans, that are independents or Democrats, and try to cross those lines and find common ground that we can agree on and work together on. I think that's key to any kind of success for anybody. And if you really want to unify a community and make it better, you have to be able to do that. So that's big for me.
True. I got so much I want to say, but I know I'm gonna get lost with it. So it's on my brain, so I'm gonna get it out now. Right. So I just want to ask you this. I don't know, is this not directed at you? I just hate to see when people find something they don't like about one person or they don't this, that, and the third. It's always he's a liar, he's manipulating, he's this, that, and the third. But for me, I'm from the outside in, just being honest, haven't that been the grand scheme of politics and campaigns? Everybody giving you false dreams and lying about what they have no plan on doing. So why, when it's somebody you don't like, you want to call it out, but the guy you love, you ain't said nothing about?
Yeah.
What he?
Hey, can I say a little bit about that? First, let me say, hey, my wife.
I was trying to wait, but it was just on my.
I just want to speak on that part because I've been speaking on this probably for 20 years. I ain't into politics, but this is one of the things I know. Like, just because he say he want to do it and it don't happen, don't mean he ain't try to do it. It take a lot of cooperation inside of there for the stuff that he want to happen, right? So it, like, he might not have been lying to you. He might not just been able to accomplish what he was trying to accomplish. But nobody get grace no more. Like, everybody want grace, but nobody give grace. So I want you to hear my excuse and accept my excuse. But when you tell me your excuse, I ain't trying to hear that. And that's, I think, one of the biggest problems with it all. It ain't as easy as him saying I'm gonna lower taxes, and then he can just get elected, snap his fingers, and taxes is low. It ain't that simple.
That's one thing I've told people that ask me when I talk about some of the stuff I want to do is how do you plan to implement that? And one of the things I've said is I'm only one person. There are 7 votes on the city council. I can't promise you I can accomplish anything. I can tell you what I would like to do, and I will work my butt off to make it happen. But I can't promise you it's going to happen because there's 7 votes. Only one of them.
That's right.
And that's where it comes back to, like I said, I'm working to try to build bridges between all the parties so that we can find that common ground and find those things where we can get those votes on and get it done to help people. So,
yeah.
But yeah, on the like you
Go
talked,
ahead, Mike.
Oh no, let him finish first.
I think Rob was saying a second ago,
Yeah,
talking
that was my
about.
bad.
No, you're good. He was talking about calling people out, not calling people out. I think you see that a lot in politics too. I agree with that. A lot of people aren't really fair in their assessments of anyone. It's always way to the right or way to the left. And we've lost the ability to call things straight down the middle. And that's something we got to
So
get back to.
so before I ask my question,
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you that I like that, and I'm gonna tell you why. My wife watching. Most people who know me know when you ask me to describe who I am, one of the things I say is the glass not half empty, the glass not half full, the glass at half. Everything I look at, I try to call as fair as I possibly can, straight down the middle, good, bad, and indifferent. So that is definitely like I definitely respect that. My question, I heard you say you graduated high school and went straight into the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
I also, in reading up on you, saw that you have plans for implementing trade schools
Yes.
or trying to bring back trade schools. I am a huge advocate for that. I believe that college ain't for everybody, but everybody can be made out to be a decent citizen, a contributing citizen to society. And I believe that trade schools and getting them in trade schools earlier definitely would be one of the better ideas. So I'm definitely interested in your plan for trade schools.
Yeah. Part of that idea came from my own personal experience. I feel like if I'd have had an opportunity to participate in some kind of program, my career would have been elevated by now. But it's not. I think part of it also came from some of the poverty numbers I've looked at in the city, especially in the Southeast community. I think it's like 50, I think I read 50% of the children in the Southeast community live in poverty, which to me, that's unacceptable. I think the city is between 15 and 23% average of child poverty. And I think you can reduce those numbers if you stop forcing kids into the thought process that they have to go to college. I think if you give people the opportunity to work and show them how to do the work and they can earn the money, they can drop that rate significantly. But I think you have to start that by partnering with some local businesses and implementing some kind of apprenticeship programs to where they can take a junior or senior in high school for 2 days a week or something like that, and give them the opportunity to learn HVAC, learn auto, learn steel work, electric motor work, whatever it be, some kind of industry to where they can elevate themselves as a person, give them hope.
Give maybe if it's possible, give tax breaks to companies who are willing
100%.
to work these children, like to take them on the weekend outside of the training and actually show them some of the money that they can make. Because a lot of the teenagers, like I work with the kids. I work for Let Our Voices Empower, which is violence interrupted, and like a lot of these kids, the crimes they commit is because they hungry or they need clothes. Like they don't necessarily want to be criminals. They just trying to figure out life. And the sooner we teach them how to earn a living, because they'll go to prison and then learn how to do something in prison and come home and then be productive citizens after that. So why can't we skip the middleman? Why can't we skip the middleman? They don't have to go to prison for 7 years. They can learn. They can start learning, because again, college ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
And there's a sense of failure to a kid when all you make me do is go to school and I'm not getting the best grades. Some of them are actually trying. They just don't get the best grades.
Yeah.
That don't mean you can't give them some hope that they can live a productive life. Yeah. And like I am a huge advocate, huge advocate for trade schools, because I believe like it's a lot of jobs that machines gonna take over. Like a lot of the labor jobs, I don't care how much you try, somebody's eyes actually got to be on that. Somebody's hands actually have to be on that. And we can teach our kids, and instead of them figuring it out for themselves and trying to start businesses in their 30s, they can be trying to start businesses at 21, 22 if we teach them the right things.
So you got to teach them the trade, and then you got to teach them financial literacy. That's another thing we have to start doing better, is teaching kids financial literacy. I wish I'd have had a good financial literacy class, but if you teach them a trade and you teach them how to manage money, you'll see a lot of business growth. You'll see a lot of revenue. You'll see job growth. You'll see poverty rates go down. Like, it's just, to me, it's a long-term plan for success and revitalization.
And as poverty rates go down, crime rates go down.
Exactly, 100%. It's
Literally,
a win in every situation.
So yeah, that's definitely. So I didn't get to ask Phil Hamilton this, but I do want to ask this because I do work with the children, and it is dear to my heart. So I believe it was last year, may have been year before last. In the span of about 2 weeks, we had 2 teenagers get killed on the way to school from gunfire. What would be a plan to make parents feel that their kids would be safe making it back and forth to school? We've had a school shooting, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. We had a couple school shootings. What would be the plan to maybe ease the minds of parents sending their kids to public schools?
I think our public schools should be top priority in terms of safety. I think we have really good police officers in the city of Newport News. I do think there are probably some staffing issues that we're not told about that probably need to be handled. I think our schools could probably be safer. It's a shame that in our schools we have to walk through metal detectors to come in. That's a problem. In terms of parents, that's something I would really want to sit down with parents and see what they would like to see done. I'd like to hear that from the community, what they would like to see done.
That's right.
But I do think that the police department does do the best. They do the best job they can do in terms of keeping the school safe. That doesn't always mean it's successful, unfortunately. There are people that don't like school resource officers or things like that. But I think when you have an SRO, I think that gives kids the opportunity to go, hey, maybe the police are, good, decent people that want to help us. Because a lot of these SROs that I know of tutor kids and try to mentor kids and try to help them out. So I think those SROs are a good thing, and we should keep those in place. I think
did we? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought you had paused.
Go ahead. I was done with the question. Go ahead.
Oh, did we get to the? I did want to add. So let me address this for all the viewers. If y'all do have a question that we feel is worthy, go ahead and put a Q in front of it, and it'll. Because some comments I'm gonna skip over, and I'll bring it up. Did we address this question? I had a situation I had to go take care of real quick. Did we address this? Ask this question?
No, not yet.
We have not. Can you read it, or you want me to try to?
I ain't got my glasses on, but I can make it work. It said, being only 28, you're the youngest candidate in this race. What unique perspective do you believe you could bring to the city that someone from an older generation might not?
That is a good question.
That is a good question. I think everyone's life experiences are different.
Did y'all hear me or I broke up? Okay.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. I think everyone's life experiences are different.
Okay.
Obviously, when you're older, you've been through a longer period of life and seen different things, different generations, and different struggles. I think when you're younger, maybe you haven't seen that as much, but maybe life has been harder. I'm not saying mine has, but um, could be. But I think, you know, in terms of my perspective, um, I think divorce rates have been higher in our country since I was born. My parents split up. I have that. I'd like to see families get stronger. So that's something I'd like to see addressed. I don't know how I could help do that, but I would love to see something done with that. Um, I think affordability is an issue, especially for people in my generation. I think you have homes and apartment. I mean, you have an apartment for $2,000, $2,500 a month. I might as well put a down payment on a house for that. So it's the American dream for younger people at this point almost unattainable. So I think that's something that I've experienced that I can address and hopefully make better. Um, I think you can also look through history and see where younger people did some really, really great things. You look at our founding fathers. I think all of them were under the age of 45. Adams, Jefferson, Washington, Alexander Hamilton, I think, was only 23 years old. Um, and they started a country. So I think there's plenty of different examples of young people throughout history making positive change, bringing perspective. I have a lot of respect for people that are older than me, though. I've learned a lot from older people within my church that have mentored me. So I think also one thing I would like to do is kind of bridge that gap because I do feel like there's a generational gap or disconnect, if that makes sense. And that's something I'd like to address and try to fix.
Speaking of,
Question.
speaking of, so you spoke on it. I can see in the comments Big Cur speaking on it. We have also had in Newport News a couple incidents between teens and police officers. How do we bridge the gap between the law enforcement and the community working together, not only to make the community safer, but to have a better relationship?
Yeah. I think it's very important for the police to be in the community, engaging the community, attending events within the community, just being present and talking with people. I think when you do that, you see tensions not as high. But I think also some of the issues we've seen with some of the teen takeover things, it has to go back to parenting as well. I mean, you have to be responsible for your child that you're supposed to be responsible for. If they're not behaving well in public and they're destroying property, I'm not saying that happened, but I'm saying just in general, if they're destroying property or vandalizing things, then that's an issue that law enforcement really has no choice. They have to take care of it. And that's an unfortunate situation. None of us want that to happen, but that's the reality. I think in terms of bridging the gap and building relationships, I think that just comes from the police being involved in the community, taking parts in different community events, which I think our police department tries, at least makes an effort to do a decent job of. I could say the same about our sheriff's office. They seem pretty present at a lot of things I've been at. But, yeah. Does that answer the question for you?
It does. It does.
Okay.
So we got one from another viewer, John Thomas. He said, what do you see the biggest problem within the city that needs to be addressed to correct?
I talked about the childhood poverty thing. That one is pretty high on my list. That's a frustrating problem to me. We live in the United States of America. Nowhere in this city should 50% of children be living in poverty. Nowhere in this country should that be happening. Especially in a community like Newport News. I mean, I'm gonna pull this number real quick. Marshall Ridley, that neighborhood, 51.5% of children in that neighborhood live in poverty. Like that is an astonishingly high number.
It is.
That is something that we really, really need to get addressed. I think also our tax rates in our city are a little high. One thing I would
Yeah.
do is eliminate the meals tax completely. It's over 13%. It's one of the highest on the peninsula, I believe. Eliminating that meals tax, I think, would allow you to actually go out to eat with your family and enjoy a night without having to be burdened by an extra 13% on that bill. And it's also going to help your mom and pop restaurants in the city because you're going to have more people coming
People
out.
come out more. Yep.
Yeah. Another thing is the real estate tax here. Now, this year, the city reassessed everything. So they have technically said that you're not getting a raised real estate tax, your real estate tax raised. But what they did was they reassessed everything. And everybody's home value went up. I mean, I know people that have been assessed for things that it makes no sense. Like there was a guy I'm trying to remember what the story was. He got assessed for a garage on his property he didn't even have. And he had to challenge it or whatever. But your real estate taxes are too high. I'd like to reduce those. For people under 65, I'd like to reduce them. For people over 65, I think we should just freeze them, to be honest. There's no reason somebody should work for their entire life and then be taxed out of their home at the end of it. That's not fair to me. You know, if you've worked and you've paid and paid and paid and paid and paid and paid, you should not be homeless when you're 70 years old. Another thing I'd like to do is one thing I've noticed our council, I don't think current council does do, is I don't see them go to Richmond a lot to advocate for us as a city. Now, what this council could do is they could go to Richmond and they could talk to the representatives, the state legislator, the governor, and say, "Hey, we'd like to see your income tax reduced," and that's well within reason for a councilman or a mayor to go to Richmond and advocate for that for his city. I'm not sure why we're not doing that, but then another thing, I think our education, our school system lags behind a little bit. We're in the lower 50% of the Virginia school districts. I think is where we're ranked. I got this.
I mean, what we just in school in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. With the No Child Left Behind, are they really teaching anymore, or they just preparing them for tests? Like,
to me, they're just preparing them for tests.
Yeah, all right. I kind of know. I just wanted to see what people.
Yeah, and that's a big issue I have too. But another thing is, if you look at our math scores and our reading comprehension scores, they're some of the lowest in the state. It's terrible, and that's things we got to get fixed. But it's hard to fix them when you have your infrastructure in your schools. It's not good. Things are falling apart. You have backlog maintenance requests and things like that. So you have to invest the money in the school system to make it better. You can't just sit there and hope that it gets better, and it does cost a lot of money, but it's a reality. I mean, it's something you have to manage as a city,
Facts.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if this is something that city council can address, but since we're talking about the schools, I do have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
The dress code is atrocious. Like I sit around high school kids all day. I do a middle school class once a week. You can't tell if these kids going to school or going to the club.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Just telling the truth, right? Like,
yeah.
What can we do about that? Like,
well, there is a dress code, but it's just not enforced. So you've got to start enforcing it. But I think that's a problem for me too. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you.
That's the word I would use. When a 7th, 8th grade girl got to hold down the tennis skirt so that the back of it ain't showing stuff that's not supposed to be showing in school. And literally, as I look at adults who work for the school system, they kind of act like they don't see it, like they look past it.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But I think, talking about the adults working in the school system, I'm not saying we have bad teachers at all, because I know a lot of them, and I think we have great teachers, but we have a lot of great teachers leaving too. So I think teacher pay is another thing we need to look at reevaluating and seeing what we can do to bump that up a little bit.
Because we start putting everybody in the same class.
Yes.
That makes it impossible.
Yeah.
Not being funny, man. I ain't gonna say the word because we on here. When we was growing up, we had classes for certain people that couldn't be on the same level. Now you putting all these people in the same class. You know what I'm saying? The correct way to say it. You know, some people need special attention and remedial courses. They don't need to be in the class with advanced, fast-moving students. It's impossible to teach all and keep all on the same level. Then we acting like, as far as the young kids, this was blow because I coach sports and I deal with the kids. We taking kids that come from home, we sending them into school for 8 hours a day, and we expect them. We know when kids are from the age of 8 and under, they're the most hyperactive. That's when they flying around off the chain. Mm-hmm. But we expect them kids to start going to school at 5 and 6 and to sit at a desk 8 hours a day. Don't move, don't talk, don't be fidgety, don't do nothing. Impossible. You don't even go to your job and sit at the desk 8 hours without moving as an adult.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. And then when the kids do start fidgeting or something, they want to diagnose them with something and throw 15 different pills at them. And it's like, I just
yes, that's that money trail.
And I know that's a controversial statement. To be honest, I don't really care because it's the truth. But I'm not a fan.
I mean, you came to the right place for that. You came to the right place for that.
But I mean, to your thing about the class sizes, that's another thing with staffing and infrastructure. We've fallen behind in those categories. We don't have the manpower or the infrastructure to support what we have. And if you fix the infrastructure and you fix the pay, you'll see some of that change. But I think also when you fix the pay, you're going to see us attracting teachers from across the state that are good. You've seen it in other municipalities that have increased teacher pay. Teachers go there because they want to get paid and they want to be there. Mm-hmm. And that's just a thing. We have to get competitive as a city.
Listen, so as you said, as a city, right? I know you talk a lot about affordability and how you want to help in that area. So what is one of or the biggest, you feel, financial challenge you see in Newport News right now that families are facing?
I think we have a lot of families that are not getting 3 meals a day. I think we have families that are getting taxed out of their homes. I think we have a lack of economic opportunity to be an entrepreneur here. I mean, it's hard to start a business in Newport News because when you do, you got to pay $15,000 fees to get it done. So it's another thing I'd like to do if I get elected is sit down with some people and really review every single fee that the city has and see what we can do to get rid of some of them because some are just unnecessary, I feel like. But you have a lack of economic opportunity in the city. If you go down to the Southeast community, there's a lot of businesses that are closed. If you go up to Denby, there's a lot of businesses that are closed. If you drive down Jefferson Avenue, you see a lot of businesses that are closed. It's just everywhere. And that's because the city does not support small business. When we have big events, we outsource the work from other cities, or we get caterers from other cities or vendors from other cities. Why don't we support the people here? That's my thing. I kind of went on a tirade there, but I think there's the number of economic issues in the city currently it's just a endless list of things we could be doing better with that. Here's one number for you. The median household income in the Southeast community ranges from $26,000 to $36,000. The city-wide median income is $63,355. Why is one part of the city lagging behind by that much? We haven't supported business there. We just haven't done it. And you say something like that, and the comeback is, well, we've built this, we've done that. Well, you can build all the buildings you want, but when you charge $2,000, $2,500 a month to be in them, nobody can afford it. I can't afford it.
Hmm.
You know. So I mean, it's kind of a show, honestly, because you're saying you're making progress, but you're really not. These numbers have gone up over the past 5 years if you look at them.
Yeah, that's what Mr. Mercure said. Can we talk about the
Oh yeah,
city's personal costs?
yeah.
And then we get they coming in. They coming. Hey, listen, I like the comments, y'all.
So what
Keep
specific
them
cost
rolling.
is she?
We got one. Let's see. Let's go with and we're
What
gonna get back to
specific cost does
Mercure.
she want to talk about?
Yeah, I had to wait for her to respond back, and she'll say, and Mr. Evans say, yeah, the number is highly due to the people who stay uptown make more money. This has been going on for decades, and I don't think a 4-year term can. I guess he means can turn that around.
Well, he's saying it's a multiple.
I
It's a
can't-
multiple year
I
fix.
quite-
It's a multi-year fix.
Facts.
I think that's what he's saying, and I agree.
Most,
100%. It is a multi-year fix.
Oh, here come a good one. Here come a good one here from Miss Caroline. She said, "What about the bridges, the tolls that we still paying for that are already paid for?"
Which one in specific is she talking about? Over in Norfolk?
Probably. So I wait for her to respond. We get to that too.
That's
but also, what about for those ones that, like you said, that? Go ahead. I was about to answer. Go ahead.
If she's talking about the ones in Norfolk, that's a state thing. I wish I could do something about that, but I can't. I can go up to Richmond and say, "Hey, why are we still paying these?" And I will do that because that's a concern she has. So if elected, I'll go up and try to address that concern with the state. I have no problem.
She say all. I guess she say all of them, and then Bakura. I guess she's saying personal when we asked about the shoot. My brain just went for when she said something about the city's personal costs. Sorry, that's what she said. Personal.
So personnel.
Okay, could have said. I'm trying to find the comment again.
Yeah.
I know it's.
I know there are some issues with some overstaff from the current council hiring. I don't remember what the official title is, but they're essentially legislative aides. And I think most of them.
They say the mayor got what? Photographers and body trainers.
I've been with gonna say that. I ain't know we were supposed to say that out loud.
Yeah,
it's in the public. They say
it's public at this point. I think they tried to conceal it, but they couldn't. But yeah, I mean, you look at some of the. If you go look into the city budget, and you look at I don't remember what the official title is, but they act as legislative aides and basically handle the council members' interactions with the community and whatnot. I think those people get paid more than the council members, in which the council members just voted themselves a raise that was over 80%. Meanwhile, your city employees are getting a 3% raise.
I heard that man trying to make himself a Netflix documentary or something around here. Camera people and video people and man.
Listen, so you did mention you said something about reviewing. I want to get your words right. You reviewing every city fee and the budgets and etc. And tax. Are there any specific ones you think they should be cut first? Let's talk about
the taxes. I want to really focus in on would be the real estate tax and the meals tax. There's also a tools tax for businesses in the city of Newport News, which businesses come in, and if they have a certain tool, they have to pay X amount for it, which I think that's absolutely ridiculous. If you want a way to get businesses to leave your city or not even look at coming there, which by the way, I believe Ferguson is about to announce they're leaving and going to Tampa. But Yeah, I believe Ferguson is about to announce that they're leaving, and
That's why they tore down their buildings and all that stuff.
and I think they sold their property also, the
Yeah,
rest of the property. But I don't know that for sure. I can't confirm that. That's just something that I've been told by a couple people that I trust. But the biggest taxes I'd like to focus on are the ones that are affecting the business. One of those is the tools tax. Because if you're charging a business a tax for their equipment, why the heck would they want to come to your city? That doesn't make sense. You make it harder to operate. It's ridiculous. So you're running your blue collar jobs out of here.
Well, you make people cut corners.
Yeah. Stuff's not going to be safe. Employees aren't going to be paid what they should be paid. It's just creates a bad environment.
There's a question I don't know if
that gets passed down to the consumer and things become more expensive.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did my research. I paid attention to a lot of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says you oppose data centers.
Yes.
One, can you explain what a data center is? And two, can you explain why you oppose data centers? And I'm asking what a data center is and why you oppose, because I sat at the meeting with Bobby Scott like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he spoke on being opposed to data centers as well.
Yeah. I think this is the only issue in America that most Republicans and Democrats are unified on. And it's not so much because, okay, another controversial statement I'm going to make. I think a data center is basically something that is going to be used to store information that we have that really nobody else has business having. I don't particularly trust what they say it actually is. I think I oppose them just because everyone I've talked to in the community has said that they oppose them too. And I think if I'm elected to represent the community, that should be my position. But I would oppose them anyways, just because of the environmental harm they do. Everywhere they've put a data center, your water cost has risen. Pollution has gone through the roof. So, I mean, there's those problems with them that I'm not interested in having in Newport News because we have enough problems anyways. Our water prices are about to go up because the infrastructure with our water is bad. So we've got to fix that. So why would we build a data center and make the water worse, or if the infrastructure is already bad? It doesn't make sense. But I can tell you why. Well, I won't get into that. Never mind. I'll leave that alone.
Okay.
But basically what a data center is, to answer your question, is it centralizes IT information. That's the basic explanation of what a data center is, as far as I know. But
okay, this quick question, and I'm gonna scroll through some of these comments, and a lot of us, the regular comment folks, a lot of people, why you still have to pay taxes on the car that is 20 years old and registration.
100% agree that you should not have to be doing that. I am with that. It's a good question.
You know what I think the goofiest tax is?
Mm-hmm.
Having to buy a fishing license. This planet is 70% water, and you make me pay to throw a pole in it and catch a fish in it. That is crazy to me.
And they find you left and right.
Oh my God.
Well, that's another one of those state things that you would have to go to Richmond to talk about. But it's certainly something that maybe shouldn't cost as much as it should, or shouldn't even be a thing. But I mean, I understand there are certain fish we have to protect, and certain parks and waterways we have to protect. I totally get that. And what was that question there?
He asked, how do you replace the money you cut out?
Which money?
I guess he's talking about with the taxes or whatever. These comments are a little old, man. I was stuck on when you was talking. I didn't want to scroll and put them up.
Oh, no, you're good.
They loaded. I'm trying to catch up.
I mean, is he asking basically how to? I think he's asking how we would pay for the tax cuts.
Devon bought a gang in here with him, man. He comments jumping.
Yeah.
Well, I think how you pay for these Oh, okay. There you go. There's your confirmation on the Ferguson thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's another loss of business for our city, and you have to wonder why that happened. From what I understand, it was the state of the city and the airport issue.
We got a good question coming up too, but go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish that.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead with the question. I'm good with the question.
I just seen the beginning part, and they said, how can we change vendors for the school lunch program? Tyson Foods leading the industries and allowing lab grown meat to be okay.
Yeah, I am not okay with feeding our kids lab grown meat at all.
They say it's awful from high school, from pre-K to high school.
Yeah, that's absolutely unacceptable. Our kids should be getting fresh food. And lab meat to kids is actually insane. And, I think part of that's why we have a health epidemic in the country. You have a lot of people that are overweight because we're eating crap, to be honest. And it starts at the school level. But something with the lab grown meat, I think with the schools, I think that's just something we'll have to evaluate that contract and go, this is not acceptable. You either need to change it or we're going to go with a different vendor, period. And that's what the conversation has to be. And if they don't like it, then we'll find a different vendor that's going to give us fresh food. I am not wanting our kids eating lab grown meat, and I will die on that hill. Actually, I don't intend to die on the hill. I'll plant a flag on the hill and fight on the hill all day long.
So check me out, and I'm gonna take y'all on a little roller coaster. This gonna be about 2 minutes. I'm probably aging myself, but I'm old enough to remember when Virginia didn't have the lottery, right? And the big pitch about Virginia lottery was that you paying into the Virginia lottery was helping Virginia schools, right? You remember that with the cross finger? Remember that? You telling me lunch can't be no better with all the money? Like I watch people spend $50, $70, $80 a day playing lottery and never win it. You telling me, and for 30 years, you telling me don't none, like what happened to the lottery money that was supposed to go to the school that we don't have working metal detectors everywhere if we need them, or we don't have proper meals so kids, like you were saying earlier, you got them there for 8 hours. You give them, you tell me how many kids not gonna take chocolate milk. They get the offer for chocolate milk at every single meal.
Yeah.
And sugar and cookies and, and candy and cake. And then you tell him to go sit down for another 3 hours. Man,
it ain't
crazy.
Happening. Yeah, it ain't happening.
Like where the lottery money go so that we can, like, we supposed to be fixing this. Like, right? We shouldn't have, these shouldn't be the issues. Like,
now go ahead.
I saw a comment about coal dust on here just now pop up for just a second.
woo,
Yeah, I was skipping through trying to get to it. That was back when you was talking about. I kind of was reading the comments. I could tell where they was commenting from. So all these comments, the last 10 or 15 comments, they all on the version we was talking about data centers. So that coal dust comment came, I'm assuming, and she could correct me if I'm wrong, is when you said the pollution and stuff. So that's what they said. We already got the coal dust here.
Yeah, you don't need to add anything else to the coal dust. There are solutions to the coal dust thing, but you have to be willing to talk to the company to do it. And we just haven't been willing to do that for some reason. We have the highest asthma rates on the peninsula, I believe, in the Southeast community. And I think part of that is because of the coal dust. So
ain't no part of it.
Yeah.
A majority of it almost.
Yeah, I think there's a solution to that you can look at. There's a special type of netting they make you could put up. You could do a dome. I don't see a dome happening because I don't see a way that's financially feasible. But the netting, I think, is definitely something that can happen that would greatly reduce that coal dust. Coaldustkills.com has some good stuff on that. I do think coal is an important part of our local economy. So I don't want to see coal go away, but I do want to see our citizens protected. And I want to see our citizens' health not be affected by the coal that is here. So, but I think that particular type of netting is something I would strongly look at talking to that company about. And maybe we have some kind of agreement. We'll pay a percentage, they'll pay a percentage, and we'll get that done for the citizens. Because at the end of the day, you got to prioritize health for people. It's got to be a priority, especially in a community where you don't have a pharmacy. You gotta prioritize health.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right, let me throw a curveball in here right quick, right? So let's say tomorrow election day. Tomorrow is election day, and I just ran into you in the grocery store, and you pitching me to vote for you tomorrow.
I would say, hello, my name is Devon Hamilton. It's nice to meet you. What are your biggest concerns about the city, and what would you like to see done about them? And I would have that conversation from there, because ultimately when you get elected, you're elected to represent the people, not yourself and not a party. So your biggest priority, your top priority should be finding out the issues that are affecting people and what they want done about them. And then your job is to make sure that happens, whether you agree with it or not, because that's what they put you there for. It's not about me. It's not about a party. It's about the people. Then we would talk about those issues depending on what they were, and we'd have that conversation for as long as they want to have it. But in those kind of conversations, to be honest with you, I let people dictate those conversations because I enjoy hearing what's affecting people, and I enjoy learning from people, because maybe there's things I don't know, and they talk about an issue that I didn't even think about, and then I can go home and spend time researching it and figuring out how we can fix it. And that's the kind of conversations I like to have, and I think that earns you credibility with people too. Because if you're willing to sit there and go, what affects you versus this is me, this is my plan, you're showing you actually care about them. And that's a genuine thing for me, is I care about people. I care about the community. That's the only reason I'm running.
That was the first thing I was about to say. I was about to say, listen, I don't know if you just saying the politic game to say the right thing, but you're saying too much to sound right for some folks. But my dad don't woke up, so something that he done jumped online. He saying, I know these old because they're back to the. He said, do you think the data centers operate as the brain for AI?
I think they definitely have something to do with it.
Is anybody scared of AI other than me?
I have reservations about it. I think AI can be a good thing. I also think it can be a bad thing. I know there have been some AI generated pictures of me that I'm like, what the heck is this? People are me.
I think a lot of people in iRobot thought AI was good too. Yeah. Man, I'm terrified of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm scared of all of it. I'm scared of
conflicts of interest.
Oh, well, no, that's a question for a national politician, because that would. What's the plan for the next pandemic?
Yeah,
that's
the next pandemic. I hope there's not a next pandemic.
I think we all do. I think we all do. But I also think it's a bunch of different ways to say this saying. I'd rather be caught with it than caught without it.
Yeah, I'd rather be prepared and safe.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's another thing is I talked about division earlier and being divided. It's what if something like that happens again? We're so divided. Could we come together as a country and tackle something like that at this point? Ooh. And that's one of those things where we got to be willing to find common ground. We just have to do it. So,
hey, let me because this happened on the other Mr. Hamilton, which they are not related. JT, I see your comment, tag you in. Normally, when we try to do the interviews, we try to get the people that's going to be on ahead of time so we can talk, how it go. But you welcome to throw them comments out and we'll bring them up that way. We ain't want to, bring people on and off while we doing the interview
man, for the record, this is an interview day. We on the mob, man. Jump on the show.
Yeah, listen. So everybody want to get tagged on? You got something you really wanted to say today? Lamar, we going live with our regular day. We did this for him today because he had to reschedule. And we're going to have some spin the wheel topics. So take a little break to let y'all know. So tomorrow, send those topics in. What you want us to talk about, we'll put them on the wheel. And we're going to spin the wheel. And whatever topics we land on, That's what we're gonna shoot for and talk about.
If there is something he would like to ask me, he could go to my Facebook and message me. I do try to answer as fast as I can on that, on my candidate page.
And
I'll just say for the whole chat, I am very open and I try to be as transparent as possible. So if you have a question, please reach out. I will do my best to answer it. I can't tell you I'm going to be right, but I'm going to do my best I can to answer it.
Yeah, and if you want to answer now, throw it in the comments. I'm catching up.
absolutely.
I'm getting down.
Mr. Hamilton, you can go in the private chat and put your Facebook in the private chat, and then he can share it in the comments as well.
Or he can type it in there himself.
Oh yeah. I didn't know if he had access to it.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Okay.
The question he said, the VA lotto. Yeah, that's a good question. They support the schools. Why does it take years to update or build a new school? Man, we would like to know too. All that money they raking in for these mega games and everything.
Man, I'm just a simple person. Like, I'm only asking because that's what y'all told us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be at like I remember that vividly, being in like the 5th and 6th grade, and them saying like they specifically brought the lotto here because it's supposed to help the schools.
Mm-hmm. What you got to say to this right here? Because Miss Shabazz be high on this one. I just want to see your take on it. Whether you agree, disagree, this is your opinion. You know, you got to be political. She said when you authorize police into the school, it changed the dynamic of what the building actually is. A prison under the guise of public school. I guess I said that right.
I would push back on that. I don't view the schools as a prison just because they have an SRO. I just don't see that. I think if anything, you've improved relations with the community with the SROs, because the kids get to see a police officer and they get to have trust in that police officer. And a lot of times if you go visit and you see the SROs are out playing basketball, baseball, whatever it is with the kids. And to me, that's a good thing. That's not a prison environment. But I mean, I can see where she's coming from. I can understand the perspective. I just disagree with it. And that's okay. Not all of us are going to agree on everything.
So they're asking, where did you hear or see something about a net for the coal dust?
I'd have to find the website, but I can link it in the comments after the show. But I did do some research on this. Off the top of my head, I do not remember the company that makes them, but I did find it. And I will find it again, and I'll link it in the comments. But that is definitely something we could do.
Somebody, yeah, okay. Tom say take away $1 a day for jail. What's this? Is the data sent together to let's just keep us oppressed?
Yeah. Now that is a question for me, right? That would be a question. And I don't think it's $1 a day no more, Tom. I think it's $3 a day. But that is a question for, like, because you're running for office. This is the first time I ever thought of that. If the people who are incarcerated have to pay to be incarcerated, why do taxes have to go towards the jail system?
That's a good question. If you're charging people who are incarcerated to be incarcerated, that's a good question.
If and I know in 20, it probably changed to like $3 a day in like 2015, 2016, right? And if all the people who are and if you go, I'm talking about literally, you can just get booked in and walk out, like on your own recognizance, you still have to pay that $3. Everybody that's in that jail has to pay $3 any day they are in there. I don't care if it's $2. How come tax money have to go to the jails?
Honestly, I do not know people that are incarcerated pay anything.
I apologize. Especially when 90% of the operations that happen in the jail, I'm talking about the physical labors that happen from inmates. Like
Yeah.
there are no. There's a deputy supervising some people, but the people painting them walls is inmates. The people serving them trays is inmates. The people cooking them trays is inmates.
Yeah, where that money going?
Yeah.
And their pay is double trades. Their pay ain't even money. Their pay is double trades.
I did not know people that were incarcerated pay a thing every day. That's new to me. So I'm glad you told me that. I'm going to look into that. That's something I did not know about. So that's something I can look into. I would assume the tax money goes towards infrastructure and deputy pay. That's what I would assume. And I don't know that they get enough money to take care of that from the pay from the people that
Yeah,
are
I could go for that.
But I don't know. I know we've had some infrastructure issues at the jail in Newport News that probably need to be taken care of. I do feel like we're a little bit behind with that also.
Yeah, when we gonna stop? When we gonna stop overcrowding that thing? Like
100%.
it be in the paper ever since I've been a kid. I don't know the exact number, but let's just go. That jail was designed to hold 500 people, and at any given time, it's 1,300 to 1,500 people in there.
Yeah, you know how to stop overcrowding it? Give people hope, teach people how to work, and let them do it. Get out of the way and let them do it, so they don't have to turn to committing some kind of crime or something to support their family.
Joe
And
say AI
that starts in middle school, high school.
True. Say AI is no more dangerous than what was happening 400 years ago.
I would have been scared then too, man. Listen, I watch iRobot. I watch The Walking Dead. That's why I ain't take no COVID vaccine. Every zombie movie you ever seen started with them people just having something happen, then they take a vaccine, then people start eating people's face. Man, I'm not doing that. That is crazy. That is crazy to me.
I could go for that. Somebody said they were willing to bet that majority of the Virginia lottery money is funded to the Northern Virginia schools.
No, I would be willing to put some money on that also. There was a question from this same person earlier. I saw it pop up and I wanted to address it. It said, "How will you ensure that all neighborhoods have a voice?"
Yes, I was gonna get back to that one too. I was trying to catch up some.
So what was the question again?
How will you ensure that all neighborhoods have a voice?
That was a good one.
If I'm elected, and even now, I am very easy to get a hold of. If I'm elected, I think every event that I'm going to have this year for this campaign is going to feature a Q&A session. But also, I plan on having a lot of just what I would call listening parties, where I'm going to come into a room and I just want people to tell me what issues they're having and what they want done with them. And I want to do that in every neighborhood, in every precinct. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is my goal. And I think when you do that, you empower people to come out and you empower people to talk, and then you can properly represent them. You can't properly represent people if you don't know them and you don't talk to them. So if I can do that, if I can have an event in every neighborhood where people can come and share their issues with me, I'm hoping I can be that voice for every neighborhood. But we'll see how that goes.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just read something that's a pertinent piece of information. Hey, Rob, can you highlight that comment by Bakura? It say, if you are found not guilty,
I probably ain't get to it yet. Hold on, let me see.
You probably too far down.
Okay. Man, it's a whole lot. I'm talking about. All right, wait. Let me find it. If you're found
not guilty, you can request a refund from the jail. That's some pertinent. I don't think it's a lot of people that don't know that. It's a lot of people that don't know that.
Oh man, yeah, I don't see that. I'm scrolling way back up.
It's close to the bottom. It's close to the bottom.
Oh yeah, I ain't get there yet. I'm gonna get to. Let me get to it. Man, I forgot where I was at. So now I'm just gonna scroll down.
That's pertinent information. I know it's a lot of people that don't know that.
Let me see, locked up in jail, but what?
I mean, I really
Hey,
do.
somebody said that too. They said they know the people locked up in jail, and and this goes to what y'all saying, and they paying $3 a day, which ain't nothing. But why they be feeding most of them garbage food that's not even good enough for a dog to eat?
Ooh, and I'm gonna second that one because I was a chef for the jail for about some months. It is horrible. Like they the meat they
Is it
call
is it is it lab grown meat like the schools?
probably
Probably worse.
Yeah,
probably yeah.
They
Like
put all that stuff together in the loaf.
and that's one of the
but
things I think.
so if I'm not mistaken, I think they said in 2012 or something, the state of Virginia outlawed loaf. So they can't give you loaf no more.
Okay.
Like but it is yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Like the eggs come, they liquid in the bag and you just boil them and then they turn into eggs. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that.
I think one of the things I wanted to hit on while we're talking about jails and incarceration. I think a lot of times, people that get incarcerated get forgotten about. You gotta remember, they're still people. They still have value as a human, and we need to realize that and still look out for them, stand up for them, and value them as people. So we shouldn't be feeding them the worst of the worst. They are people. They're humans. You know.
I think something that need to change is this. Um, you can go to prison and get a college degree without ever paying no money to go to college. And I can go to Thomas Nelson and owe them people $90,000 in student loans, and I didn't go to prison. I think that's backwards.
Yeah. This is an interesting comment. You can't make it comfortable, so they won't come back. Which there's a difference between compassion and comfortability. It should not be comfortable. You've committed a crime. You've been found guilty. It should not be comfortable. But there still is a level of human decency that should be displayed to people.
True.
I think that's fair. At least
I caught up with the comments, y'all. It was about 100 of them jokers. I was trying to catch up.
my uncle's incarcerated.
Uh-huh.
He was at the Red Onion. I'm not sure where he is now, but he's incarcerated.
Jeez.
So
he was at the worst.
I'm somewhat familiar with some things that happen. So yeah.
No, it's a fine line, but like it shouldn't be. He shouldn't feel like he had a resort.
Yeah.
But he also shouldn't feel like he in a dungeon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Here's a question I always want to ask everybody this when they be on. So what's like your plan or approach of working with people who just don't agree with you? You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, it takes 13 votes. It takes this. It takes everybody got to come together. So what's your plan for those people that don't agree with you? I know all situations are different.
Well, I think it starts with being humble enough to have a conversation and realizing that I'm maybe not right about everything. I think when you walk into a conversation with that attitude, you'll find that you might disagree with somebody 80% of the time, but there's 20% of the time there's a little bit that you agree on, and those are the things you want to focus on. And so I think it's just that simple. I think it's just being humble enough to be able to have conversations and go, maybe I'm wrong about this, maybe I'm not, but just be open to other people. And I think a lot of people, when they have conversations, especially about politics, they get bogged down in personal attacks and negativity. And I think if you can avoid being bogged down in those personal attacks and the negative stuff, I think you'll find it very easy to have conversations with people you maybe disagree with.
I like this one right here.
Mhm.
I ain't want to cut you off. I was thinking out loud when I read it. Sorry. You was finished?
Yeah, go ahead. It's
All
fine.
right. But they say we have a strong disconnect of people showing up, sharing their concerns regarding the city, but will complain and point fingers on social media all day long. So the question is, how could you encourage residents to participate? Especially when
Um,
we just Bakura was just speaking about that. Everybody being, they don't show up. They complain, but they don't show up.
well, who said they got to come see me? I can go see them. I'll go right up to somebody's house or call them on the phone. It's not going to bother me. And that's why I say when people comment things or say something to me, message me, call me, or tell me where you are. I'll come meet you. You don't have to come to me. I'll come to you. If you want to have dinner in your house, I'll come have dinner in your house. If you want me to knock on your door and stand outside on your porch and talk to you, I'll do that. Does not matter to me. But I think when you start showing that willingness to do those things, people will be more inclined to participate in those kind of events with you because they know you're being genuine. You're coming from an angle where I don't want to. I'm not doing this to benefit me. I'm not interested in that. I'm doing this because I want to serve my community. And I think once people realize that, they'll be more on board with participating in things like that when they realize you're a genuine person that wants to serve the community and you're not fake. You're not being a fraud.
But at some time, man, we can't. It'd be impossible for you to go to everybody. Like when we have these open discussions for the people, we gotta hold them accountable. If they want to have something to say, something to do, show up. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like, okay, here's one. Here, like you say, here's like today, you get an interview, not just saying it because we on.
Mhm.
How hard is it to click on and you ain't gotta go nowhere? You could be in your
Yeah.
car, you scroll social media all day. These
Yeah.
podcasts are virtual and whatever. So
Mhm.
you have all the access to do it that way. So
Yeah. And part of why I wanted to come on here is y'all engage the people in the comments and ask the questions. So I know I'm going to get questions I got to answer. I know I'm going to get something that's probably tough that maybe I don't have a good answer to, but I can come back and I can research and I can take it from there.
But it's also having understanding that, especially when it comes to the internet, man, some people gonna go against you just to go against you.
Oh yeah, I've already experienced that 100%.
And like one of like I keep hearing you say, I'm a servant of the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, like running your race is all you can do. Like we understand that. Like you're not gonna please everybody. There gonna be some people who gonna be mad just because they like being mad.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had a right thought process in mind of trying to do right by the people, because at its purest form, I talk about a lot of stuff in its purest form. At its purest form, the government was made for the people.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't made for the salary or to become a rock star. I still think that's crazy. They say that man gonna have a Netflix special.
Yeah.
That's
who's having a Netflix
that's
special?
hilarious. Nah, I'm joking.
Oh.
They say that man got a traveling photographer and he trying to be in GQ, and that is crazy to me, man. You a person of the people.
Yeah.
Stop it. And then somebody in the comments today said he got a personal assistant that make $133,000 a year.
I have heard that too.
What?
Yeah.
You know how many homeless people can eat with $133,000?
The ones that sit by James River Bridge could certainly use some help.
So, like, just run your race the right way. Like,
and look, this is the other thing too. I know in this thing I'm going to say something that's just dumb of me to say at some point. I'm a human. I make mistakes, and that's going to get blown out of proportion. And, I get that. That's part of it. But I'm really focused on just being genuinely me, talking about my ideas, talking about my vision, and that's just what it is. And I will engage as many people as want to engage, but I can't force people to come to me. And I understand that. And I can't force people to like me, and I understand that too.
No, but on that same note, like there are people who need something to complain about. So no matter how engaging you want to be with them, they don't want to be engaging with you because they need something to complain about. And if you try to fix their problems, that they got to find something new to complain about.
Yeah.
So like again, like I look at a lot of politicians or people in politics. I don't know if I call them politicians. People in politics, they age fast. I think you don't have to though. I don't think you don't have to, because I think you do what you can as much as you can, and as long as you know you're trying to do the right things, you let the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to do everything I can do to be the best I can be for this community. And whether voters want me to continue to do that, that's up to them. But I'm at the end of the day, I'm going to run a race that's clean, that's honest, that's based on ideas and facts. And, that is what it is. And I'm going to be able to say on November 4th, win or lose, I can hang my head high and say I did this in a way that was honorable and respectable. And
I just happened to get on, right, and I checked some things because when I had to make somebody text me. So somehow your page, the people commenting on your page, I don't know if it's private or what, it's not coming up on the feed. And here's 2 or 3 of them. Let me see. One person said, I know I have been wondering why my vehicle's personal property tax, City of Newport News, went up almost $60 for the last 6 months. My car didn't even get any younger. I paid the same $26 twice a year for, that's a long one. Ooh, that's long. Twice a year for years now, and suddenly it's tripled. My car is 3 years away from antique tags. Just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, I didn't know it was that long until I clicked on it.
With the City of Newport News, it doesn't have to make sense. It has to make sense. It makes sense. And that's why those kind of things happen, is they're focused on making money, not serving the people. And to me, if you got a car that's 3 years from an antique tag and you've paid it off and you've done everything you're supposed to do in terms of your taxes, you shouldn't have to be paying, taxes on that.
Ryan James asks, what's your view? Oh, man. He said, what's your view on John Illy using City Center for his personal profit?
I try not to.
For you guys just comment on Devon page. If you see the Listening Pleasure podcast, click on that so your comments can come on the screen and we can get them on. Or click on something so we can get you on the screen. We missing some comments from your page. Sorry, I just happened to catch that.
No, you're good. I try not to attack my opponent too much. I really don't want to get into personal attacks or things like that. I want to stay focused on issues. There are some things he does that I'm like, ooh, why would you do that? And that is one of those things. That's not something I would probably do if I was a member of city council. But that's ultimately his decision to do that. So, yeah, I'll leave that at that. I saw a comment on here I wanted to address real quick, if that's okay. I have to go back up and find it.
Yeah, you might just see something that I don't see. Like when Mike, you said something about Cure said something. I never seen that comment, so I don't know if it was on your page or not either. So we got to get them kinks worked out.
I see the DEI question. There's one I wanted to get to, though, from the same person, and I'm trying to find it.
That is the question. That is a question. That is a question. So yeah. We grew up in the Southeast community. It is home. And a huge part of who we were during the summer was free lunches and going to the pool. They literally took all the pools from the kids. They took all the activity.
Took them all.
Like,
None in the East End.
what is the plan for the East End as far as giving the kids something to do?
Yeah, Kira, it's a whole. I just happened to pick up the phone. There's a lot of comments in this thing that's not even showing up on my end. I just looked on one of the pages. There's like 150 comments, and we even got then on another page there's like another 40 that ain't showing up. I don't know why they not. They all supposed to be coming in on one feed to me. But sorry, go ahead.
And to those that we're not able to address, please send them to me in Messenger. My phone will blow up all night, hopefully. But I'll try to get to them as I can over the next couple of days. So don't give up on trying to get those questions answered. Please send them to me. I'd love to do that. The question on the pools. So when I grew up, I actually went to Beaconsdale Pool in Beaconsdale. I swam on the swim team for, I think, from the age I was 6 years old until I was about 17. And that was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I have friends still from those teams that I still talk to and hang out with. Actually, a couple of them came to the parade in Hilton with me on Saturday. So, I mean, those kind of activities are huge for building community and staying active and just, good family fun in general. I'm not sure why they would take away the pools from down there. That doesn't make sense to me. That is something I would definitely look at and get addressed. We had a $3 million surplus last year. I'm sure there are other areas where we can find even more money than that. And then
the Magruder school, where they rebuilt the school, they took that pool, and it's just a whole bunch of dirt and land. You could have put a new pool that was, or left the old one, whatever. Like, I don't know.
Now, in Denby am I mistaken in saying that community center was supposed to have a pool?
I don't know.
Was that not part of the plan for that?
You would have thought it was.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought I had heard that there was a plan for that, to have a pool there, but I don't remember.
I got something I want to ask you about. Here we go. Now, with the taxes and all that, the public schools, the fields, and etc., the taxpaying dollars cover for that. I coach youth football. Why is it so hard for us to get access to those fields? Okay, we got to write out a paper. We got to set up some forms. We got to do that. But now, if taxpaying dollars is taking care of that, why when we try to get those fields, now they want to charge us an arm and a leg to get those fields when we already paying tax dollars on it to have access to that?
I'm not sure on that. That's something I have to look into.
Please do.
See, and that's another thing too, is we talked about, earlier, the stuff at City Center that happened with the teenagers, thinking about the pools and football and things like that. We need more things like swim teams, like football teams,
give them something to do.
Teams. Give people something to do at night so they're not out having to deal with some of this stuff. And that to me is a common sense solution. If you offer activities, people will do them. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, I'm not sure on the fields. That's kind of weird to me also, but that's something I'll have to look into.
I also have a question, but
somebody said insurance reasons. But if it's insurance reasons, that would be for the entire city, wouldn't it? Because we could go past Mercury Boulevard or J. Clyde, and it's pools all around in different areas. It's none only past Mercury on down, as they like to say, the number streets.
I think another problem with pools, and people say this a lot, and it is somewhat accurate, is people are so glued to video games and technology now, they don't really want to go outside. And that's another thing that has bothered me, is that people are so glued to that stuff. It's you're seeing a lack of ability to conversate normally, participate in sports normally. Like, you just don't. It's not like it used to be, I'm not really sure how to fix that problem, but I could see that being a reason where the city goes, well, a pool is not needed because people wouldn't come, which I would still build the pool anyways because I think it's a good thing for the community. If I could,
How they wouldn't come if you seen them there for the entire time it was there. It was being used 24/7 during the summer. Like it's always in use. But we don't. But see, I just if we having that issue and we saying that thought for East End, Uptown, or whatever district, have that same passion for everywhere else.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, you take away a lot of the recreation centers. Like, for instance, it was that recreation center by Lassiter Drive downtown. That building was there. And we had people, and I know this personally, we had people, I don't know if they want to be told, but that was trying to say, listen, man, I got these kids in the neighborhood that come around together every day. I do X amount of Z with them. Listen, we are going here. We'll clean this building. We'll do whatever, who we need to talk to. I just want to have somewhere to take them inside to do stuff. We can do some tutoring, teach them some things or whatever. They tell you no, but they'll haul a bunch of rusty refrigerators and let them sit in there and rot for years. Or you just do nothing with the building. Like, we got to get people that's, we can't say the kids out of control when we don't give them nothing. What little bit they do have, we take away, like you say, the free lunch programs. I don't know how they going now. You take away the pools. You take away a lot of the fields they can have access to. They can't even go play in fields without you saying, oh, you got to get off this property. You got to do, we seen the field back in the day as a big field. We all going to gather and go play in it. Now somebody tell them they can't be there. They can't do this. So as an adult, you got to start checking yourself. What are we giving them to do?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point.
So
I would like to see more youth sports across the city in general because I do think we help with a lot of things. You're teaching them teamwork, accountability, how to communicate with other people, how to compete.
Yeah, the city took their hand out of football and stuff like that. They straight took their hands out of it.
When the city gonna really get pride and stuff like that?
Yeah.
We got 5 high schools in Newport News that share one stadium.
Yeah.
We got 5 high schools that share one stadium. How serious do they take it?
Yeah.
To go to the technology, we conformed them. We conformed. Like,
but you gotta have insurance to do your. Sorry, I'm cutting all across. I was reading the comment. I'm wrong. Go ahead.
I sit with high schoolers. Their whole schooling is on the tablet. That's what they get. They don't get books no more. They get a tablet to walk around with all day. Crazy part is, we probably, from the McDonald's I sit in, during the course of the year, we probably had the school come 10 times to pick up tablets. We probably had a total of maybe 150 of them. Like, they'll leave them. They don't care. Like, we conform to let them, like, they'll sit in class without their tablet and look on their phone all day.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get back to some of the basics too, because part of the reason why kids is out of control, it ain't that kids is out of control. Kids is in control.
Yeah.
Grown people let kids do what they want to because they scared of it.
But that kick it to end. That's Hampton, that's Hampton. So that don't even count as Newport News.
I think the Cure makes a good point with the stadium, though. Stadium's not utilized to its full capacity use. It is. I mean, if you go to a high school football game, it very rarely is sold out. But that's another thing. Is like, we don't really promote high school sports here a lot either.
They do it here than we done in Newport News.
And we should.
They make it so hard for the kids in Newport News. I'm just gonna be, listen, whoever in the school boards and whatever, when kids try to do the right thing, they punishing these kids and make it hard. I had an athletic director, and here's I almost called some names, but I don't want to listen. So, all the kids, when they want to celebrate when they go into college, whether they get a partial offer, full offer, whatever.
Have a ceremony, a signing day ceremony.
You had athletic directors at one high school that say, no, we're not letting you unless you got a full scholarship rag.
You still
Won't
get
let you
a
say,
partial
won't you
buy.
let you say committed, won't let you say. I just think that's totally crushing to a child that work hard at whatever they've been doing. Like,
Yeah.
man, you putting your personal feelings in the way. What do it hurt you for that child to sit up there to say this was school he going to? What does it hurt?
Yeah.
On a national signing day or whatever day at the end of the year when all your seniors get together and say they're going to school, what does it hurt to have that child sitting up there? What if he had to pay for it out of pocket and he just say he going to wherever? What does it hurt to allow that kid to express he's excited to go on to the next level?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But, and that's the other thing is, some of these kids, they play 4 years of high school football or 4 years of high school basketball or swimming or whatever it is, and they work their butts off, and it takes a toll on your body, even at a young age. Why would you not want to celebrate them achieving some kind of scholarship or going off to some kind of school? It doesn't cost you anything to set up a table in a gym and put out a video. It's free. It costs you nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The same thing, cuz about you talk about the pools, Haddonwood, back on up by Riverside. It's some in some neighborhoods in different places.
Now those pools are you've got to pay for membership at those. Because I went to I went to Beaconsdale, and we would swim against the other pools in the neighborhoods. But I think you normally between $300 and $500 for membership.
Well, that one that's by Ward, I forgot that street. It's like behind Ward. It's closer to Jefferson, behind Ward.
Beaconsdale. It's on Ferguson Lane. Yep, that's where I used to swim. I grew up in the house right across the street from that pool, actually. 18 Ferguson Lane, or 19. Yep. That is
that's a long
he is
question.
right. That is a private pool.
Let me see. Let me see. This for my pops too. Let's see. Is it not the city council and the city responsibility to teach and to house and to see that the youth in our community have positive things to do so that they can grow up and be productive citizens, not criminals? Newport News City Council has dropped the ball. Boom, boom, boom.
I would agree with that. It's also, part of it's on parents too. Parents have to be willing to discipline their kids. They just have to be. You can't let your kid just run around and do crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the city should also have a part in providing something for kids to do. We're a big enough municipality. We have the community centers. We have the basketball courts. We have the fields. Like, let people use them. But then, but also, just talk about specifically, again, the Southeast community. You have the Moton Theater down there. What is that used for right now?
They doing some remodeling to that. Shoot, somebody was just on. I know Kira know, and we just had who was just on talking about the Moton money getting somebody we just had on.
Nah, we was in the meeting.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I know it's some. Okay, yeah. So it's some plans and it's some stuff in effect for the Moton.
That's something I'd like to see done too, because that can be a nice place down there for people to come to.
So, what public pools do we have in the Newport News City? Anybody could Google, drop them in
I
the
think
comments.
Nicole answered that question right there. She said all pools on the city, with the exception of Midtown Community Center, are all private pools that are maintained with private membership fees, which that is correct.
I skipped right past that.
That's correct.
And the Midtown.
Now there are good these pools that I will encourage this. I would encourage people to check out some of those neighborhood pools because they are nice and a lot of the people are really nice. It's a good way to meet your neighbors and build a good community. I would strongly encourage people to check out those things.
I totally agree. I caught up back up on y'all comments, so I just want to definitely get back on that.
I got a question from somebody on Facebook here that sent it to my messenger. It said, how do we address the presentation of the city driving on the roads? The city looks depleted. Let me open this up so I can look at it here. It says, city landscapers go out and slap a weed whacker across the road till the end of shift. The roadsides look terrible. How do we create a welcoming image from the road. Nice grass, no trash, flower beds in areas that make sense. That's a good question. We have construction projects all over the city that are behind schedule and magically on schedule when the city wants to adjust the date of completion. I think part of it is you got to
Sound
hold
like somebody playing with the money, dragging out to get money, but I don't know.
yeah, 100%. And and I think there has to be some form of accountability with some of these companies. If you contract a company to do a project at your house and they are 6 months behind or a year behind, you typically aren't paying the full price. Am I right?
That's right.
Why does it not work that way with the city? We need to be, not to be a jerk or anything, but we need to.
From my point of view, and that could be wrong. If let's use Mike, my homeboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I get you for that job and you 6 months behind, you saying I'm gonna make sure I don't pay full price. But if Mike, my homeboy, and I get him the job that he shouldn't even have, and I know we got this extra money to throw away, and I tell him drag it out, and I can give him more money, and then some of the money one hand wash the other, and it come back. Those the games that's being played.
Yeah,
we don't want to talk about
I agree.
Stuff, you know what I mean?
I think there are some things like that happening. I can't confirm them, but I think there's things like that happening. But there has to be some form of accountability for some of these companies. You got to just sit them down and say, hey, look, this is the deadline. We need this done by then. Can you do it or not? And if they say they can do it, then you hold them to the fire on it. You got to get it done by this day, or we're not paying the full price. We're not doing that, or we're not paying anything past that day. And that's just what it's got to be. In terms of the landscaping, I think there are some good guys on those landscape crews that do work really hard. But that's another thing, with employee compensation. A lot of the employees in the city don't make enough money to meet the cost of living threshold.
Facts.
So, I mean, how do you expect people to come in and work their butts off when they can't afford rent or groceries? But that's just my thought on that. We need to take care of those employees too.
Yeah. Facts.
And I think you'll see a morale boost, and I think you'll see people working harder if they realize that they're valued.
So we on the verge of wrapping this up. It's been a great, great show, and I know we can love to talk forever. But I'm gonna just be. I'm not one that's huge on politics, but these last couple of shows we have, I have been informed about a lot. Of course, a lot I got to do some research. And I'm not talking about you. I'm speaking on politics as general. They some of the smooth talkingest land mugs in the world. So you definitely got to go back and do your research and check them out. Because they have you thinking they got oceanfront property in Arizona.
That ain't me.
But what's one message you want every Newport News voter to know before they cast their ballot? What's something you want them all to know before they cast their ballot?
That I love them. I love the city. I love them. Whether they vote for me or not, I'm still going to love them. I'm still going to love this city. I'm still going to do what I can to make this community better. And I'm accessible. Yeah, I'm not a, hey, vote for me and then see me 4 years later kind of guy. It's not what you're getting with me. And I want people to hold me accountable. If I do something wrong, I hope you do call me, and I hope you fuss at me and yell at me and cuss at me, whatever you want to do, because I need to know that stuff. But I guess my main message would be I love them, and love your neighbor, because even if you disagree with them, still love them, because we're all people and we're not perfect. If we were perfect, Jesus Christ wouldn't have had to come here for us.
Listen, I wanted to address that, but I didn't want to go left field when they was like neighborhoods and communities having a voice. Yeah. We don't have a lot of neighborhoods and communities. We just live in areas because we don't go out and fellowship and know each other and do. So it's not a neighborhood or community. But I don't want to go into that now. It just when I keep hearing it, just certain things. So let's just say if you elected, and let's just say when you elected, say it that way for you. What would be your top priority on day one?
Day one, trying to get some of these taxes down and giving some people some room to breathe financially. I think that's the most important thing we can do is focus on that, because right now inflation is high. People can't afford to live. I think that has to be priority one. I don't think you can go anywhere else. You have to, you got to make life more affordable for people. It's just got to happen.
I'm gonna get these last two questions up here, and then we're gonna go with one for you to wrap it up. This is a question for us. Hey, I like that. Question for listening pleasure. Have you invited any current council members or candidates? Yes. Since you asked, we have I don't know the order, but we have John Ely coming on. We have Tina Vick coming on. We have Marcellus Harris coming on. And we got word back from the mayor. I actually reached out to Cleon Long as well. Who else? That's all I can think of offhand. But we have reached out. It's from we was receiving from the more guys that's running to come on before some of the other. The only person that initially when I hit that was with it, he just wanted us to sit down in person, was Marcellus Harris. He was with it. He's been telling us, let's come sit in person to do it. I don't know. I guess he get a better effect than doing virtual. And this one last question, and we're going to end the show from the viewers for the questions. Y'all can comment, but this is the last question, and we got one for Mr. Hamilton, and that's done. Oh, good question, by the way. Once again, Pops. You asleep half of the show or busy, man, but you on there. So,
Hey,
good
that's
question.
Deacon Joe. Bishop.
Yes. He said, why should I live in Newport News? Great question.
I think Newport News can be a great place. There are a lot of good people here. There are a lot of good small businesses here. People care about each other once you get out and start really knowing people, and people look out for each other. And to me, that's all it is. For me, it's just simply people. People are, you got to be around good people, and Newport News has some really good people in it. And I think also there's so many places here you can build community. Like the amount of churches in Newport News is crazy to me. And I just think there's so many places where you can build relationships and really just root in here and just build something here. And plus, I like the parks. I think the parks are great. That's a big selling point for me. But I work in the parks, so but I love the parks. I think they're pretty. I think it's fun to go to them, and it's a good family place.
You talking about the parks? Just my man jumping on with all us. What can we do to help with these water moccasins and etc. at Newport News Park?
I'm not sure on that. I actually work out of Newport News Park. The moccasins are a nuisance for sure.
Yeah, there's some bad boys, man. They'll jump out the tree on you, jump in the water. And ain't nothing you can do to get away from them.
Yeah. That's an animal control thing, maybe. I'm not sure. But I'd have to look into that.
And they deadly. That's what people.
Oh yeah. I mean, they can really hurt you. But
yes.
Yeah, that's something maybe I can look into that also and get back to you on.
We appreciate you, man. But before we let you go, I just want to add, where can people go to learn more about you and your campaign, the support, or whatever they just want to do their research?
I do have a Facebook page, and like I said, you can message me on there. I'm going to get the name real quick out for you. It is Devon Hamilton for City Council on Facebook. The logo is my name. It's yellow and blue. Follow that. Shoot me a message. I'd love to get in touch. There is an email also, Devon Hamilton for nn@gmail.com. You can reach me there. I'd love to sit down and talk with anybody that wants to talk. Even if you don't like me, I'd love to talk to you. But, yep.
Yep, that's what's up. Kira, hit me up about them tickets. What you talking about, them tickets for the parks? You got some free tickets for folks who want them. Yeah, Kurt, you know them water moccasins been out. They've been out news pod for some years.
Yeah, they are definitely out there.
Yeah, and they would be on the trail just chilling, watching you come up like, what's up?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, man. But like I said, this was a great show. And Kira, don't forget to inbox me, hit me up what you talking about them tickets. I need to know what that's about. We appreciate you for coming on. Devon Hamilton's running for before I mess it up, the city council.
Yep, city council in the South District.
City council in the South District. Y'all give it up for him. Wish him success on his campaign.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate y'all letting me come on and have a good conversation with you that was hopefully productive and informative to everybody. And, don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything else.
No doubt. We appreciate you for listen. I always love people that come on and give a great interview, a good show, but it's more so satisfying when they reach out. You know, sometimes you ain't got to go look out for people to interview when the people reach out to you. So my man hit me, say, you seen our show, you was impressed, and you wanted to come on. That was good enough for me.
Get to it.
And if y'all ever want to talk football, let me know too, because I'll tell you how great the Cowboys are.
Yeah, listen, man. When we had some we do segments called Open Talk to where we just chat about random, like what we have one tomorrow. I know you're busy tomorrow. Tomorrow we just talk about sports. We got a debate show coming about sports and stuff later.
We got fantasy football coming up.
Yeah, we do fantasy football. We got a group. We do our fantasy football league. So, excuse me. Yeah, all that good stuff. We definitely get it in, man. We just trying to grow. Also, we got a book club. Sorry to my book club people. We supposed to put the book out July the 1st. We had a lot going on. I promise we're gonna get it out this month. Start out.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. We're gonna get our first book out. Appreciate everybody coming on, and we're gonna end it like I always do. The wind always be at your back, and the sun always upon your face. And may the wings of destiny carry you aloft to dance with the stars. Until next time, keep listening with pleasure, and we really appreciate you. Peace out.